Hi, I'm Teacher Beth, your science teacher. Today we are going to learn about the female reproductive system. Yes, you heard it right. And you all girls have this. The female reproductive system is made up of several organs, which includes the ovaries, fallopian tube, uterus, cervix, and the vagina. These are very important because it is responsible in producing egg cells and supporting a developing baby inside a mother's womb. Now, let me tell you more about the female reproductive system. This is an egg cell. It is a female reproductive cell. Did you know that an egg cell is only 1/10 millimeter, about the size of the diameter of a hair strand? Egg cell is not capable of movement, unlike the male reproductive cell, which is the sperm cell, is able to movement. And when the sperm cell and the egg cell unites, fertilization takes place. It means one life begins. Now, let's talk about the different parts and functions of the female reproductive system. This is the female reproductive system. Number 1. Ovary. It produces egg cells as well as the female sex hormones, which are estrogen and progesterone. Female human has 2 ovaries. Did you know when females was born, about 70,000 egg cells are already present in their ovaries? However, only 500 of these eggs will mature. The mature eggs were released only one by one every month once a female reaches puberty or teenager stage. The releasing of egg will slow down or stop when the female is about 43 to 55 years old. The mature egg leaves the ovary through fallopian tube. Now, what is fallopian tube? This is the fallopian tube. This leads the egg from the ovary to the uterus. It is also the usual site of fertilization, where an egg cell and the sperm cell meets and unites. Female human has 2 fallopian tubes, and each connecting to an ovary to the side of the uterus. Next is the uterus. It is also called the womb. It is a hollow muscular organ located at the lower part of the abdomen. It is soft, smooth, inner lining called uterine lining, and it is also called endometrium. Uterine lining becomes thicker as it accumulated blood and nutrients to accommodate or be ready for the unborn baby as it develops. It is also the site where the fertilized egg is implanted. If the egg cell is not fertilized, it will break together with the uterine lining. After it breaks down, it will be discharged during menstruation. Next is the cervix. This is the cervix. It is located at the lower part of the uterus. It is a narrow opening between the uterus and the vagina. During childbirth, cervix expands to allow the passage of the baby. And then we have the last part. Do you know what is the last part? Yes, it is the vagina. This is vagina. It is also called birth canal. Remember that? It is also called birth canal. It is a hollow muscular tube that extends from the cervix to vaginal opening called vulva. It expands to let the baby pass during the normal delivery of birth. Now that you know the important parts and functions of female reproductive system, let us now describe the journey of the egg cell and how the female reproductive system works. We already know that the ovary produces the egg cell, and these egg cells will be transported to the fallopian tube. Also, this is where the fertilization by a sperm may occur. The egg will then move to the uterus, where the uterine lining has thickened in response to the normal hormones of the reproductive cycle. If the egg cell is not fertilized, the egg cell in the uterine lining will break down and is discharged during menstruation. But if the egg is fertilized by the sperm, the fertilized egg will implant in the uterine lining and will develop until it will become a baby. However, even if the egg cell is fertilized, but implanting does not take place, the uterine lining will shed as menstrual flow together with the egg cell. During the menopausal stage, the female gradually stops making the female hormones which is necessary for the reproduction cycle to work. During this period, menstruation or menstrual cycle can become irregular and eventually stops. Now, let us answer the guide questions. Question number 1. What are the parts of the female reproductive system? The female reproductive system is made of the ovaries, fallopian tubes, uterus, cervix, and vagina. Number 2. Why is the female reproductive system is important? It is important because it ensures the reproductions of the humans. Number 3. Which part produces the egg cells? The ovaries of the female produces the egg cells. Which part can be considered as the most important part of the female reproductive system? The most important part of the female reproductive system is the ovary. This is because this organ produces the egg cells and regulates the hormones of the female. So, this time, let's answer the following questions. Letter A. Study the illustration of the female reproductive system, then identify the parts that is being described. Number 1. Organs where all female egg cells are stored. Yes, you get it right. The answer is the ovaries. Number 2. It is a narrow opening between the uterus and the vagina. Correct. The answer is the cervix. Number 3. It is where the unborn baby is developed. Correct. The answer is uterus. Number 4. It is a hollow muscular tube that leads to the opening called vulva. Yes, you get it right again. The answer is vagina. Number 5. It is a tubes that carry an egg from ovary to the uterus. Correct. You got it right again. The answer is the fallopian tubes. Okay, the second part, true or false? True or false? Number 6. Vagina produces the egg cells and sex hormones. False. The correct answer is false because the ovary is the part that produces the egg cells and the sex hormones. Number 7. Uterus is the part where the unborn baby is developed. Correct. The uterus is the part where the unborn baby is developed. Number 8. The cervix acts the passage through which the baby exits the uterus into the vagina. Correct. Cervix acts the passage through which the baby exits the uterus into the vagina. Number 9. The ovary is the usual place where the egg cell is fertilized by the sperm cell. Yes, you are correct. The answer is false because the fallopian tube is the usual place wherein the egg cell is fertilized by the sperm cell. Number 10. To prevent reproductive system injuries, use protective gear when playing contact sports. Correct. It is a must to wear protective gear when playing contact sports. Class, always remember that the female reproductive system is composed of ovaries, fallopian tube, uterus, cervix, and vagina. And each part has functions and role in the reproductive system. And the reproductive system ensures the reproduction of humans. Thank you for your active participations and listening, and I hope you have learned something for today. Thank you. This is Teacher Beth signing off.